Good evening humans, Tyrannosaurusmoth here, and tonight we're taking a look at the Marvel Legends Xemnu Wave Dr. Doom, or God Emperor Doom as he's properly known. However, they didn't put it that way on the package. I kind of understand why, and I'm sure you do as well, but in any event, it's a really cool looking figure, and I really dug the original Dr. Doom figure that they had put out, was it last year or the year before? But 4-screen just isn't really my style, and I saw this. I wasn't aware of this version of Dr. Doom before, but I love it. Plus free skull and spinal cord, which apparently belongs to Thanos. And again, not aware of the storyline, but I'm totally intrigued now, and that makes me want to look into it. So really cool figure, and yeah, let's take a look at this thing. Let's do this. Aesthetically speaking, Dr. Doom is very simple, yet still regal and ostentatious. And let me tell you, my friends, that is something that is very much in my wheelhouse. I love simplicity. It's a kind of a reason I don't really care for a lot of the MCU looks, is I think they're a little over-designed. However, this sort of thing is totally me. I love the just like basic silhouette, which it still maintains the standard silhouette of Dr. Doom, just doing it in a different color palette and without the, I guess, shirt. And looks really well. There's also barely any paint on this figure, but the little bit that they do use, they used effectively. So again, the budgeting for this figure was used very well. So that being the case, obviously you can see the silhouette. And beyond that, just a very, very bright white for the skirt piece, the gloves, the cape, and the hood. And then you look at the eyes, which is one of the few places you have the paint, and just really effective, a really piercing stare. Beyond that, the only other real paint, I believe, is the belt, and done to great effect. Trying to get this to focus, and there we go. So like looks like real metal, just really well done. And yeah, that's all you need. There's some marbleization in the silver plastic, which I know some people aren't a fan of. I happen to be, so for me this totally works, but if that's not your thing, this isn't gonna work for you. But I think it looks great. I think it looks effective. It looks like metal. I'm glad they went with it. It's a little bit lighter than the other release of Dr. Doom that I had mentioned earlier was, so something to keep in mind, but again, kind of keeps with the bright color palette that they used. And that's the aesthetics. Okay, for accessories, we're pretty straightforward here and no Build-a-figure piece, which is much to my chagrin because I definitely want to build Xemnu. However, every figure in the wave is not something completely to my liking, so it's kind of sad that again, it's another situation where I want the figure that doesn't have the Build-a-figure part, but what is here is really, really good. So starting off with the only non-hand accessory, and that is the aforementioned skull and spinal cord piece, which again belongs to Thanos. So really well done, cool sculpt work, really nice wash going on here. Articulated jaw, so really great. Can't complain about that, just awesome. And you can use this for other figures. I mean, again, in distant shots or just where you're using kind of a skull and spinal cord, like Mortal Kombat style, like you're not really going to notice the jaw as being particularly Thanos, so totally workable with other types of figures. Jumping into hands, you specifically get a hand, a right hand as it were, or as it is, for that spinal column. So you got your hand, you got the spinal column, you just put that around here in the piece without the spine parts of the vertebrae, and there you go. So that holds on to that whole piece right there, and that's that. And then you get a left fist for punching. Again, it's so white it's getting kind of washed out in the camera here. And then you get a right trigger finger with a vertical hinge. So that's pretty cool. And you get two, like a left and a right with Dormammu, as you've probably seen in my other review, or if you haven't, you should go watch my Dormammu review. Wow, stumbled over that, didn't I? And finally, right out of the box, you get jazz hands, which is pretty awesome, or just blade hands, however you want to approach that. I prefer saying jazz hands. and those are really cool. So that's accessories. Okay, quick addendum here. I forgot with the trigger hand, the right trigger hand, I forgot to mention that he actually comes with a classic Luger style pistol. And let me see if I can get that to focus. There we go. Just molded in all silver plastic, much like the rest of his body. That actually comes in the package holstered, which is why it was so easy to forget. So, you know, if you get this, don't forget that is in there, and it is pretty accurate from what I gather. So yeah, you got that as well. For articulation, we're getting much the same as we got with the previously mentioned Dr. Doom figure that came out last year or the year before. I don't have that figure, but I mean, I've watched a lot of reviews on it and stuff like that. Only point I want to make here before I dive into this is that the cape is definitely going to be a factor when you're trying to get it into poses. I'm planning on picking up a soft goods cape with a wire, just so I got some more options. But in terms of his out-of-the-box articulation, we have a ball hinge and then another neck piece down here, which is going to extend that range. This seems to be the theme for this wave. And then you can get some up, which is pretty good, especially with that hood piece. It just obviously comes a little bit bare at the neck. No butterfly joints, but we do get up that far. We get our bicep swivel. It's kind of all moving that. There we go. Bicep swivel hindered a little bit. Again, there's just so much sculpting work here. Then we get our double jointed elbows, bring us all the way up. We get our swivel and our hinge on the wrist. We do not have an ab crunch. We only have the waist. But I was impressed. Like, you get a good amount of range. They actually like engineered this really well. And then you get back. So like, really impressive. I didn't think I was gonna like this, but honestly, I love what they did with it. You've got cuts in both sides of the skirt, which means he can come out to pretty much full splits, just fantastic. There is a thigh swivel right there. You can see the armor piece. Then you got double jointed knees. So you're coming all the way up. So again, fantastic. There's no boot cut. However, under this armor piece, it's kind of a ball hinge in its own. So you can get your turning from there, which is awesome. Then you get like beyond immaculate point. You get some damn nice forward. And of course you get rocker, but it's gonna be hindered a little bit again, just because of the sculpt. So that's articulation. Jumping into some size comparisons, here he is with some other Marvel Legends. Here he is with some other Hasbro stuff. Here he is with some SH Figuarts and Storm collectibles. Here he is with various monsters. And finally, here he is with an articulated Icons Oni and yours truly as an articulated Icons Ninja. So my final thoughts on God Emperor Doom here is this is an impressively solid release from the Marvel Legends line. Just absolutely beautiful sculpt. The colors are nice and bright and vibrant. The accessories are on point. It's just really a joy to articulate and all that. So the only mark against it, I think, is the cape, but it's not like they were going to do anything different because a cloth goods cape is going to run it up, and it's not like Hasbro is going to do a wired cape on a $20 figure. But there are vendors out there who are making them, and they look just like they lay just as this one does, except you can pose it. So definitely something worth looking for. I certainly will be. So this, I believe, was 2 per case with this wave, so should be pretty easy to find. I've seen a couple of the other figures in this wave on pegs, however not this one, but it's also up everywhere. It's up at Big Bad Toy Store, Entertainment Earth, and GameStop, etc. So I will have links in the description below to where you can get yours. So that being said, I hope you found this review entertaining and or informative, and if you did, please consider liking, commenting, and subscribing. I'm trying to get to 100 subscribers by the end of the year, and I think I can do it. I'm getting so close, and I can't do it without your help. So please subscribe if you enjoyed this at all. I got new reviews going, or new videos at the very least, going up every Thursday. So at least once per week. I'm gonna try and ramp that up a little bit, maybe a little bit more this month. I got a special retro review going up on my birthday this year, so good stuff coming. So with that being said, thank you so much again for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video. So please take care of yourself, take care of those around you, and most importantly, stay weird, simians.